As we are here with the topic, there is state and civil society. We are covering this topic. This state, we are here that state is a political association that establish sovereign jurisdiction within defined territorial borders and exercises authority through a set of permanent institutions. As I have said here, that state is a political association and it has a sovereign jurisdiction also because of they have their territorial borders and they have exercises that works according to the authorized as according to a permanent institution. So there we can say is a political association, a special organization. It has sovereign jurisdiction, territorial borders, and permanent institution. These are the main figures, main statement we can say about state. Now, what are the basic elements of state? Basic elements that in exams, in interviews, you will many time you will be answered that what is the elements of state. So first is territory, second is population, third is political power, fourth is laws, fifth is taxes, and next is last is sovereignty. So these are the basic elements of state. You have student, you have to be uh, clear about that any time that these are the elements of state. You have to clear that first is territory, population. Territory, that is a geographical area. Population, that's the citizens and the persons, individuals, and the lived in that area, that is territory, and population, that is we count in a numbers, that is population. Political power, as usual, political power is state. They use the political power for becoming develop and for the welfare of the society. Laws, and without any laws, no any state can be covered. So laws is compulsory. Taxes, on which basis the political power, the laws, and all these infrastructure and development will be held. So this tax taken by the society, taken by the state, individuals, citizens, and that is used for the sake of the society. Sovereignty, that is that which type of capacity the state have. The state had a democratic concern. In a democratic concern, they are sovereign. Otherwise, any other concern. So this is sovereignty by which they have the capacity to control all these elements. Concept of a civil society, structure of the civil society. The lawful state is such a state in which are created conditions for fully supporting the rights and freedoms of a person and citizen, and also for the most consecutive linkage by means of rights and political power with the aim of not allowing of abusing. We are saying here that lawful state, in a lawful state that create conditions for fully supporting the rights and freedoms. Now here we are discussing about the structure of the civil society, that the state has the right for becoming the lawful state, for which that they can support the persons for the rights and freedoms of a person, and they have means of right by the political power with the aim of not allowing of abusing. Every society consists of citizens. Without them, it is impossible. Only the free state and not civilized society, it was impossible to refer as civil. Because of, if we say patrimonial society, civilized society, we can't say that they are the civil societies. Because pre-state society was not civil society. Because of its immaturity and its primitiveness. What are the reason? Immaturity and it primitiveness. Second is because they were not such concept as citizen. They was not clear about what is citizen, what is citizenship at all. And to be a member of political society meant to be the citizen. It means what they want in civil society. In civil society, a person who is member of political society, it means he is automatically turned off as a citizen. and member of the state, and by that to be obliged to live and operate according to its laws. And if he comes in a state and he becomes the member of the state, what will happen here? It will happen there that he have obliged to live and operate according to its laws, and he will be capable to operate all type of laws that is in that doesn't harm to other citizens. So this is civil society, and we have said that pre-state patrimonial society was not civil society. Concept of civil society in its interdependence with. Now we are saying here that concept of civil society, its interdependence with state. Now state has been developed by Hegel, systematizing all heritage of the French, English, Saxon, and German political thought. Hegel has come to the conclusion that formation of civil society represents a spatial stage in a dialectic movement from family to state. Now we are asking about the Hegel's theory. What he wants, that concept of civil society is its interdependence with the state. It means civil society has an interdependency on the state because of, according to Hegel. Because now here we are going to refer here systematizing all heritage of the French, English, Saxon, and German political thought. As Hegel has systematized all of these political thought, Hegel has come to the all of the after analyzing all these French, English, Saxon, and German political thought, he came to know about the conclusion that formation of civil society represents a spatial stage in dialectic movement from family to state. It means family to state, there is a combination for making a civil society. Civil society, he wrote, is differentiation which acts between family and state, though development of civil society comes later than state development. Basic functions of civil society. Here we came to know that maintenance of free development of person on an economic basis of various patterns of ownership. Maintenance of free development of person on an economic basis of various patterns of ownership. Now who is owner here? Owner is here the state, the society. And what they are doing here, they are maintaining for the free development of person on the various patterns of the ownership, multi-structure market economy, and also possibility for each person independently to choose sphere of economic activities. And what happens here after that? Multi-structure market economy, he will favor, because they have made the development of multi-structure market economy and also possibility for each person independently to choose sphere of economic activities. What will happen here? He will choose any type of economic activities that in his area, in his sphere, in his zone, independently. So this is the basic function of civil society. Second is obligatory regulation of mutual relations of private persons. Obligatory regulations of mutual relations of private persons, groups, institutes, and all other making elements of civil society by means of civil law that allows to overcome possible conflict and to develop general integrating policy in interest of all society. What we want to say here, that what type of regulation? That obligatory regulation of mutual relation of private persons, groups, institutes. There should be regulation that is obligatory regulations, and they are mutual relations of private persons, that can be group, that can be institutes, and all making elements of civil society. These are the obligatory regulation of mutual relations by on which means of civil law that allows to overcome possible conflicts and to develop general integrating policy in interest of all society. According to civil law, they want a general integrated policy in interest of all society, and they want to overcome possible conflicts also. So these are the things that the civil society do here. These are the that mutual relations of private persons, and they have to overcome possible conflicts and develop general integrating policies in interest of society. Constant and universal protection of interest of each person. It is the duty of the society, it is the duty of the state, that constant and universal protection of interest of each person. Its natural right to life, freedom, happiness, creation of branched out system of mechanism of such protection and supporting to its accurate functioning. Now, what is the work here? That they have to maintain, they have to protect the interest of the persons, the natural right, that is life of the persons, the freedom of the persons, each person, and happiness of each person, and the creation of branched out system of the mechanism of such protection and supporting of its accurate functioning. Realization of self-management in all spheres and at all levels of public life. Now here, realization of self-management in all spheres and at all levels of public life. Self-management is most important, that the person, that the citizen should be clear about it, and he has to be realized in all of the spheres and all levels of public life. Obligatory interaction with the state without which cannot be, and civil society. There should be interaction of the state with the society which cannot be, and which should be treated in civil society. Concept of legal state and its distinctive attributes. Now, lawful state, concept of legal state and its distinctive attributes. Lawful state is such a form of organization and the activity of political power which is under construction in mutual relations with individual and their various association on the basis of norms of right. What we want to say here, that lawful state in such a form of organization, that lawful state is an organization that, and lawful state is the activity of political power which is under construction, in which construction in mutual relations with individual and their various association of basic of norms of right, on which basis that norms of right, on which basis they are they have the power, the political power, the various association on the basis of norms of right. Thus, the right plays a priority role, and with that case, if it acts as freedom measures of all and everyone. If laws in really serve to the interest of people and state, and their realization is an embodiment of justice. Science of lawful state. Leadership of right in society. It in society dominates law instead of people. Lawful state. What are the signs of lawful state? That is leadership of right in society dominates law instead of people. There should be no not all the leadership of the peoples. There should be right of leadership, and society dominates law. Presence and realization in society of maximum volume of rights and freedom of citizens. There should be clear about the presence, and there should be some assumptions should be clear and real in society of maximum volume of rights and freedom of citizen. That how much volume and at how much capacity of rights and freedom of citizen they are getting according to General Declaration of Human Rights. Division of power and their interaction through system, controls and counterbalances. division of power and their interaction through system, controls and counterbalance, mutual responsibility of state and citizen when both of them equal bear responsibility for observance of laws. If we want to say here, discuss here that the responsibility will remain same of the state and the citizen when both of them has the same situation, when they bear responsibility of observance of laws, when the law abiding of citizens, their legal conciseness and culture, when action in society of democratic principles and procedures. Major principle is everything is authorized that is not forbidden by a law. So these are the timing, these are the situations where mutual responsibility of state and citizen remain same. Civil society. Now we want to cover up here that what is the definition of civil society. The World Bank uses the term to refer to a wide array of organizations that have a presence in public life but are not affiliated to the state. They function on a not-for-profit basis to express the interest and values of their members and others based on ethical, cultural, political, scientific, religious, or philanthropic considerations. What is civil society here? That the interest and value of their members and others based on which think they have to be based. There should be ethical sense, there should be cultural sense and political sense, scientific sense also, and religious and philanthropic consideration they have to consider. So World Bank uses the term to refer to a wide array of organizations that have presence in public life. In this sense, civil society organizations are multifarious, from community and indigenous groups through faith-based and charitable organization. The governmental organization, NGOs, labor or unions, professional associations, and foundations. But there is a broader definition that holds that civil society embraces an even wider diversity of spaces, acting in institutional forms that vary in their degree of formality, autonomy, and power. What will happen if a civil society work for the growth? What will happen? What will be the situation? No country, to my knowledge, can achieve stable, continuous growth if its civil society is constrained by inherent constitutional instability. When this statement has been said, annual meeting of the European Bank for Reconstruction and Development, Tashkent, Uzbekistan, 5 May 2003. This statement has been declared. And that what they want to say there, no country to my knowledge can achieve stable continuous growth if its civil society is constrained by inherent institutional instability. That no any civil society can take any growth if they have the inherent institutional instability. They are not stable. Role of civil society. Civil society makes an enormous contribution to the human development, filling the gaps between the government. These are the role of civil society. We can say that civil society makes an enormous contribution to human development. That is, first is filling the gaps between the government. Second is the business sector and the family, and it does things to state. The state cannot the support citizen in a national building. Most important, civil society underwrites human progress. It acts a stabilizer or butters in times of economic slowdown or social stress. When democracies are falling or have failed, it is the institution of the civil society that can carry an added burden to help sustain improvements in quality of life. It has been this statement has been declared Berlin, Germany, in Germany, September 6, 2004. But these are the role of civil society when there is a requirement the democracies are falling or have failed. The civil society has can carry an added burden to the help sustain improvements in quality of life. Issues of civil society. Although numerous financial institutions and programs are available to support economic investment, non-commercial civil society institutions face the permanent threat of being systematically underfunded. Now, what we want to say here that civil society institutions face the permanent threat of being systematically underfunded if they are not underfunded. So, society institutions are rarely, if ever, a part of a national planning process. When the issues came around, then when civil society institutions are rarely, if ever, a part of a national planning process. Third is relations between public sector and private sector, health or education delivery, for example, are more often left to chance that being a thought through process driven by clear development goals. Within the civil society sector, there is not even consultation among the providers working on the same problems from different perspective as to how they might work together for better effectiveness. Within the civil society sector, what they want to say here that within the civil society sector there is not even consultation among the providers working on the same problems from different perspective. In addition, financial institutions find it difficult to rationalize the role, needs and features of civil society institutions within the national economy. In addition, financial institutions find it difficult to rationalize the role, needs, and features of civil society institutions within the national economy. Civil society needs to reach for the highest level of competence to justify their support. There is that civil society needs to reach for the highest level of competence to justify their support. The sector combines energy and creativity with a social conciseness. Together, these constitute a powerful impulse and should be nurtured. Here, challenges of civil society. How now we have the opportunities of civil society more participation and global center of for pluralism. These are the what is ahead. We will take care here. What is youth? So there are many topics related to this. We have now challenges of civil society. We are now discussing about challenges of civil society. Even where needs are readily evident, the sector's role and potential are not well understood. This is the clear picture here that challenges of civil society, what the challenges that needs are readily evident and the sector role and the potential are not well understood. There is no clear picture related to that needs are there, but the roles of the sector and their potential working are not clear just now. Critics question its legitimacy. No framework, no predictable and reliable environment exists in which civil society organizations can function and prosper. No framework, no predictable and reliable environment exists in which civil society organization can function and prosper. To whom and for what the sector is responsible are often unclear. In a civil society, these are the challenges we are discussing here, and we want to say here that to whom and for what. The sector is not clear, that who will be responsible for all these unclear pictures, and no framework, no predictable and reliable environment exists in which civil society organization can function and prosper. Few appreciate how the sector can be financed and sustained. Yes, there is a challenge that what are the factors related to that this sector should be financed. There is few appreciable steps has been taken. How should these civil society institutions be governed? This is also that these civil society institution, how that should be governed. What will be the system that they take the responsibility, they take the charge, take the change for governing all these institutions. What standards should be applied to define their success? Annual meeting of the European Bank on Reconstruction and Development, Tashkent, Uzbekistan, 5th May 2003. This is that what standard and measure should be applied for defining, for clearing that this is the success. There is no any measurement, and there is no stable person who will take the responsibility to on which ground it should be governed, and who will take the responsibility that this sector is financed and to be sustained, and to whom and for what the sector is responsible are often unclear. Opportunities of civil society. A vibrant and deeply rooted network of organization and institutions. What are the opportunities for the civil society? That deeply rooted network of organization and institutions, there is a requirement. They have this opportunity, they can do on this work, on this ground. This work should be done. Committed Somali grassroots individual groups, proven track record, sustaining hope. Virus peace carrier, institutionalization of civil groups, medical, lawyers, media, and cooks. Inter-regional cooperation across clean and geographical boundaries. From localized clan-based identity to a much broad-based organizations. This is that these are the opportunities of civil society, that is inter-religion cooperation, broad identity, broad-based organizations. This is committed Somali grassroots individual groups, proven track record, sustaining hope. What they want, that their proven track record, that they want the hope. Vibrant and deeply rooted network of organizations. Participation. How to engage, ensure participation. That there is a question here that if we want the civil society, the state should work for the welfare of the society. That which type of participation is required? How to engage? How we ensure that participation will work? These are the points. Forging partnership. Strengthening the role of civil society in service of delivering sector. First, we have to do the partnership. Second, strengthening the role of civil society in service of delivery sector. ensuring full participation of civil society groups in the JNA, design and implementation process. Full participation of civil society groups in the JNA, that is design and implementation of process. Building upon the success of the civil society groups. Engaging new strategies, relationship with the professional Somali association. That what they want here, that engaging new strategies, relationship with the professional, all type of associations, and building upon the success of the civil society groups, that there are many groups on which the civil society can work. So this is the participation that is required. Global Center for Pluralism. The AKDN has begun to formalize its support for democracy, pluralism and civil society through the establishment of a Global Center for Pluralism in Ottawa. This education and research center will work closely with the governments, academia and civil society to foster legislation and policy to strengthen local capacity for enhancing pluralism. What type of global center of pluralism is here? They have made the pluralism global center of pluralism in Ottawa, on which basis they study. This education and research center will work closely with the governments, academia, and civil society for foster legislation and policy to strengthen local capacity for enhancing pluralism. These are the declaration at the time of annual conference of German ambassadors, Berlin, Germany, September 6, 2004. Now, what should be ahead here? Secondly, we have to strengthen civil society in the countries where we are living. Human governance is in no way written clearly, on one page. There are going to be all sorts of varieties of governments in the next decades. And if that is the case, it is essential that civil society should sustain human development, even where governments are fragile, and our institutions, I believe, will be more and more capable of doing this for the benefit of Zamaat and others. So these are the what should be there. What is ahead, that what should be there, that they are asking about human governments is in nowhere written clearly on one page. There are going to be all sorts of varieties of government in the next decades. And if that is the case, it is essential that civil society should sustain human development. Now, what the youth is going to contribute? Youth is vigorous. Youth is vulnerable. Youth require guidance and a role model. Youth are future of any community. Very difficult to convince that there is a long way to. Now, what should be there, that for the civil society and the state, that youth is required. And which type of youth is now here? That youth is vigorous, youth is vulnerable, youth require guidance and role model. Youth are the future of any community, and this is the last, very difficult to convince that there is a long way to go. Now we are here that all of the topics we have covered here. This is the timing. Now I think we have covered youth, what is the requirement of youth and what is ahead, and Global Center for Pluralism, participation, opportunities of civil society, challenges of civil society we have discussed here, issues of civil society we have discussed here, role of civil society for growth, and what is civil society, we have given the definitions here. Sign of lawful state, and all these with basic function of civil society. And Now, in the last, we are here statism on main political system of a society. Brief contents we have taken, and all of these state and civil society. And thank you for today. We will cover all of the topics in the coming lectures. Thank you very much. Namaskar.